Well, eventually, this night escalates to truth or dare. You find things out about people during truth or dare, okay? I'm just gonna put a warning. This is gonna be talking about poop, okay? So if you don't want to hear about poop,
Why does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit? That's what me. Well, it was f***ing one of yous.
just skip, skip to the next story. Hey guys. Oh, there goes Mulberry. Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 2. I finally got my microphone adapter for my phone, so I'm finally using my microphone I used a while ago on my main channel. But yeah, it finally fits in my phone. Finally! So hopefully the audio quality is crisper now. That would be great. So today, as you can see, I'm going to be telling some holiday / Christmas stories. I do have a couple. Over the many holidays I have celebrated, the many Christmases, we're going to be talking about them today. So the first one, this one honestly is probably the most unhinged one. When I was in high school, I had this group of friends. It was like a bunch of girls, and one of them decided to throw a Christmas party. So we did like white elephant, opened gifts, had Christmas snacks, just hung out, played games. Well, eventually, this night escalates to truth or dare. Let me just say, truth or dare, you find things out about people during truth or dare, okay? And I found out a pretty interesting thing this night about one of my friends. So one of the dares, I'm just gonna put a warning. This is gonna be talking about poop, okay? So if you don't want to hear about poop, just skip.
Disgusting!
Skip to the next story. One of my friends decides that she's going to accept this dare. We're in high school, okay? And honestly, this is probably one of the most shameful experiences of my life, because who does this? This kind of situation I'm about to tell you about is one where I feel like this is something that accidentally happens to you. You don't go out of your way to do this. And honestly, I can see the comments now saying, this is some white people shit.
Crackers, 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 crackers. You can't trust these crackers.
And you're not wrong, because a lot of us at this party were in fact Caucasian. You are factually correct. But anyway, she goes in the cul-de-sac and takes a dump. That was the dare. And at first, I really didn't believe she did it. But you know how we found out that she did it? It was steaming. It was steaming on the pavement. Yes, you could see the steam coming off of it. I have no words. Probably one of the most shameful things I've ever actively participated in. So that was the first story. I've gotten the flu on Christmas twice. Knock on wood, hopefully not again. But the first time I had it, I was either like in elementary school, or I wasn't even in school yet, or I was in preschool. I mean, I was really young, and my mom had it too. And my dad genuinely was like, guys, you're just going to have to heal before I associate with you again.
He's tampering in dark-sided stuff.
I think I get that from my dad, because trust me, ever since 2020, like, I recently went to a party with my fiance, not my boyfriend. Thank you. I know I'm gonna remember from now on, guys. But yeah, me and my fiance, we went to a party of his college friends, and I had never met them before. But my first thought is, oh my God, what if one of them is sick or was sick and I get sick? I used to never really think about that, but ever since 2020, I'm like locked in. Okay, 2020, and then my dad being so paranoid about getting sick. He hates being around sick people. I mean, I don't blame him, but he would not get near me and my mom, and we had to celebrate Christmas probably like a few days later. And then the second time I had the flu was at some point when I was in high school, maybe when I was a sophomore or a junior in high school. But yeah, I remember everybody still came over, but I stayed downstairs, and if people came up to me, I like covered my face. I was like, Merry Christmas.
She's tampering in dark-sided stuff.
It's like, It was ridiculous. So yeah, I have had the flu twice on Christmas. And speaking of the flu, leading me into my next Christmas sickness, which is when I was in high school, I would always get an upper respiratory infection. I don't know if anyone else, suffered from those or has suffered from them. I mean, they're common. It's kind of like a cold, but like way more congestion. I would get that all the time. My high school was like the plague for that. It was rampant. I would get sick probably every other month or every 2 months at that high school. I don't know what the heck was in the air, but I always had something. So this one time I had it, and I guess they recommend, I think you have to get antibiotics for it to like fully go away, but I may be wrong. We would go to the CVS Minute Clinic. If you don't want to go to like your actual doctor, well, as I'm sitting there, me and my mom are in, what do you call them? The not contraceptive, the that is not even close.
That is not correct.
The dookie meds, like if you need to poop, enemas and stuff, right? Well, in that section, there's hemorrhoid cream. Why is hemorrhoid cream so expensive? I took a picture with it because I couldn't get over how expensive it was. I am so sorry to everyone that has hemorrhoids. First of all, I know those things hurt, and I am sorry. And it's honestly a fear of mine. But like, that much for hemorrhoid cream? But yeah, it was like around the holidays when I went to this Minute Clinic. So that's why I'm telling the story. This one is very recent. Okay, I actually did this today. Okay, to my grandma, if you're watching this, I mean, you already knew this was coming, but spoiler alert, okay? Me and my mom have this tradition of doing family calendars at Christmas, and the main person we do it for is my grandma. It's an annual thing. Every Christmas, we get her a family calendar, right? You can just go on to the Walmart website, you make an account, you can make wall calendars, you can make all kinds of personalized gifts. Well, every single year since I was probably like a freshman or sophomore in high school, we have made these Walmart wall calendars. Well, it sounds great, right? You personalize it. It's very easy. It's just lovely. Well, the thing that I didn't realize is the pickup process. When I tell you that literally every single year, my cats are being crazy right now. I think they want food. I probably should have fed them before this. Your cat doesn't eat for 2 minutes and suddenly the world is ending. Matcha, do you have something to say? I don't know if you can hear him sniffing that. Anyway, the Walmart calendar, every year something happens. Every year it's either not ready when they say it's ready, which by the way, like I just want to say, I have a feeling that the locations I've been at, they were probably very understaffed. So I honestly feel bad for them because they get so many orders and it's like just too much going on. So I do feel for them. I'm not trying to be a Karen. I'm just saying it's something I prepare myself for every year for something to happen.
It's gonna be so bad.
I remember last year's, it was ready, but they hadn't put it together. And they were like trying to find all the pages, and it was just kind of a mess because they're like, oh, I don't know where this page is. And then they couldn't find the thing to like staple it. It was a mess. I was in there for over 2 hours, but they did it. And I will say they were very nice and they were trying to help me, but like someone went on lunch break. So then they had to get somebody else and they didn't know what was going on. You know how it is. Like everybody's just trying to make the dream work, but it's getting there, but it's getting there very slowly. So that was last year's. And then like I remember one year we just couldn't get it at all, so I had to make one from scratch, and it looked like butt. It looked like straight up butt. I don't have a picture of it because it was so ugly, but we could not get it to work at Walmart, so I had to craft one. It was bad. But every other year it's like they'll either not know where it is and I'll have to redo it, or they take a while to find it, or it's not done. Like the pages are printed out, but it's not put together like a calendar. But this year, I did 3 different calendars and they were all done and she knew exactly where it was. I genuinely, I texted my mom. I said, you are not going to believe this. She knew exactly where it was and they were all done. 3, not just 1. 3 calendars, 3 whole calendars. I'm telling you, today was a day of rejoicing. So, hallelujah.
Okay, let's go.
The next one is the time we had a deer in our yard at Christmas. Now, this deer we had actually had for months prior. I think we had this deer for almost a whole year, or it might have been a couple of months. I don't remember. But basically, when the panini happened in 2020, a deer was born in our yard, and the mom was not coming back for it. And so we started taking care of it. And it got really close to us. And I'll put tons of pictures and videos up here while I tell the story. But I thought it was a girl forever. I named her Watermelon. It turns out it was a boy. The reason I named him Watermelon was because he loved watermelon. He also loved peanut butter sandwiches. He loved a lot. I mean, we would feed him like crazy. He loved to eat. But yeah, he started growing antlers, and I realized after many months that he was a boy the whole time. I think it was just a little bit after Christmas, and then he left not long after that, and we haven't seen him since. But it was one of the coolest experiences ever to have a deer that would just let you pet him and hang out with him. But I will say I am kind of glad that he left when he did, because I know when mating season happens and bucks, like, they will get aggressive and they could like actually really hurt you. So I was kind of worried about that, to be honest. I hope he is out there living his best deer life. And then lastly, this one is ridiculous. So we have done this every year since I was maybe a senior, or like right after I got out of high school. I really don't remember, but it's been a few years, right? Like, I'm 27 now, so it's been a minute. Me and my mom came up with this tradition to wear this Grinch head and go around and run errands, or just drive around and play Christmas music and sing and greet people with this Grinch hat on. And we bring the microphone, we sing, we roll the windows down, we say hi, Merry Christmas to people. I mean, we are chaotic. And last year, this is just so ridiculous, but I'm sorry, it's hilarious. So we made my boyfriend wear the Grinch. I did it again, my fiance. We made my fiance wear the Grinch head and walk into this store and say Merry Christmas.
Really are a hill with a greasy black pig for a fine one, Mr. Grinch.
We were like, what if they think he's trying to steal something and they, defend themselves? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, we don't need that at Christmas. He said Merry Christmas, and then he immediately took it off and was like, hey, like, at that time we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So he's like, my girlfriend's mom made me do this. So ridiculous. Anyway, I think that's all the stories. Honestly, I think all of those are awesome, except the poop one. I'm genuinely not over that. What was wrong with us? Who does that? But anyway, I mean, I'm sure there's been crazier, nastier stories, but still, that was just obscene. I mean, that was not holiday. I hope you guys enjoyed some Christmas/holiday stories for Vlogmas Day 2. And I will be back with my microphone. I love this thing so much. It makes me so happy. It feels like I'm a little podcaster, except hopefully I'm not just saying a bunch of BS and being annoying like many men on microphones tend to do. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys for day 3 of Vlogmas tomorrow. Bye, guys.